All right, so this is my instructional methods variation. And what I did was I took a lesson plan from my A placements in world history and kind of tweaked it a little bit. So here are my objectives, and this is topic is World War One, and so the two standards are the same throughout all the lessons as directed, and then the objectives change just a little bit depending on the type. So um, this one particularly, the second objective, where it says students will be able to understand how to summarize the Treaty of Versailles by listening to a PowerPoint lecture. So this is the direct instruction method where the teacher would basically just go through the PowerPoint presentation, which has some excerpts from the Treaty of Versailles, and then maybe the students would take notes basically, and but yeah, pretty much straightforward, direct lecture. The teacher would summarize the excerpts for the students, but not let them actually be doing any summaries themselves. So pretty much direct, and would be the gist of that lesson. And then here is the PowerPoint that has the articles that are summarized for the students. So they would be given a handout of the full excerpt from the treaty that you'll see at the end, and the PowerPoint would just be the teacher summarizing those. So they would still be able to read the excerpts on their own. They'd have a copy in front of them, but they wouldn't be doing any summarizing. Maybe they could ask the teacher about some questions about the PowerPoint, but other words, teacher would just go through and do the direct instruction. So, and then the next one, you can see the objective changes where it says the students will be able to read, analyze, and summarize in writing portions of the Treaty of Versailles by working with a partner. So here is kind of the mixed version, I guess, the integrated, where the teacher would still be doing some direct instruction with that same PowerPoint, but now instead of maybe doing as much of the lecture and going through the whole PowerPoint, the teacher would maybe just do a few, maybe half, and then um, the students would pair up and be able to summarize some on their own. So again, they're still going to have the excerpts by themselves that they would have in front of them. Teacher would go through this PowerPoint lecture and then direct them to get into groups or just with a partner and ask them to summarize a couple on their own. So um, and then the third plan would be the authentic one, where again the standards are the same, but in this case the objective, that second objective, changes quite a bit more. It says students will be able to read, analyze, and summarize in writing portions of the Treaty of Versailles by doing a jigsaw reading activity in groups. So now they're actually going to do it in groups and read in a jigsaw format. And so now there's very little direct instruction from the teacher. He or she would not use any PowerPoint, but maybe give the students copy of the excerpts. They're going to have poster paper that they're going to make for each of their group. So you'd assign group numbers, and then what they would do is they'd have the excerpts, and they would do their own student summaries in groups. So they'd read through it, summarize it in their own writing, and if they were a group one, for example, and they had a certain amount of the articles, like maybe the territory articles, then they would summarize those and then write them on their poster. So you could break the groups up in a lot of different ways, but as you can see, it's definitely way more student-centered. So they're going to be working in groups. They're going to be summarizing, of course, with teacher help. But then they're gonna make a poster, and once their group summaries are done, then the people would switch groups and go to the next number, and then they would report on what their previous group had done and what their summaries were. So eventually, the idea is that these posters would be filled up with all the sections, and so that would be the idea of this one. So, and then here you can see are just all the different articles, excerpts. This is what they'd have in front of them as they were reading through these, and these are essentially translations from the original that they would have to try and summarize in their own words. So um, there's quite a few of them, and here we go. Yeah. So like I said, there's a lot that you could do with these, and that's all of them. And then in my reflection, I put that the um, the authentic lesson um, would probably be the most interactive and engaging for students, but I think it would also be difficult to do because you're trying to do a lot of stuff. And I commented that doing summaries, group work, jigsaw reading activity, and filling out a poster all in one lesson would probably be asking a bit too much. And so even though it would be the most interactive for the students and very little teacher talking time and a lot of student talking time, it would you'd probably miss out some of the content just because of all the activity that's going on. So I kind of discuss here, and that the direct instruction is kind of the opposite, where it'd be the quickest and easiest way to get information to the students, but the goal is to get them summarizing a primary source document themselves, and they're not going to do that if you're, as the teacher, summarizing it for them and just giving kind of a direct lecture. If you didn't care about them doing summaries and you just wanted them to have the information, that would be fine. Um, but I kind of picked the integrated plan where um, I would think it'd be the most effective to have the teacher do some direct instruction about how to summarize, giving examples from the PowerPoint, maybe just modeling the process by doing a couple, and then releasing the students to work with a partner, and then they could summarize a couple on their own. So it's kind of a mix of the two. And then you're not worrying about a jigsaw activity and moving in groups and creating a poster, and really what you're just doing is getting students to read the treaty and summarize it, um, and I think that'd probably be the best one. So that's basically it.